Guys, do you remember when you watched Charlie Morgan and he talked about affirmations? And he mentioned that, yeah, guys, you need affirmations to create your dream life. Charlie Morgan said that we do not reach the goal, we become the person who can reach the goal. So what that means is that if you're that type of person who can reach the goal, then you're going to reach the goal. How can you change this? Is there are some ways, like for example, affirmation, because you can say to yourself so many times that you're someone else, that you become that other person. And this could work really well when you're trying to reach your goal. There is just one minor problem here. And this comes from Carl Jung's theory of self. And I'm going to explain it to you today because I've tried to use this for a long period of time. I hope you can see it actually, but I've tried to use it for a long period of time. Affirmations, envisioning, journaling, and talking from the perspective of my future and, doing this, that, blah, blah, blah. It didn't work. It didn't work. I never ever got ahead. I just spent time on these. Maybe I felt better, like maybe, but that's all. I couldn't work better. I couldn't reach my goals. It was just a smoke screen to say something for myself that, yeah, I'm improving. But in reality, I wasn't improving. So let me explain why this thing actually doesn't work. Now, this is what we call Carl Jung's theory of self. I hope you can guys see. There is the big circle, that's basically your mind. There is the ego, there's the self, there's the shadow. And on top here, we have the persona. We have here the animal and the animus. Then we have the conscious, which is this part, this circle. The subjective subconscious is this part, which is basically your subconscious based on what you have already experienced. And we have the collective subconscious, meaning that the hypothetical collective mind that all of us reach into. And this is actually a really good theory of how you can, understand your. Now, where using affirmations here comes to a problem is this. So, what Carl Jung says is that if you want to be, the best version of yourself, you have to be the self, meaning that you have to be one big self. And the problem is with the big self is that if we decide something is good or something is bad, we are not integrating ourselves into one big self, meaning that we have an ego, we have a shadow. What that means that right now, if you believe that you're good in math, that then you create an ego in yourself that you are good in math. This is the ego which you're saying you are good in math. And that creates a shadow as well that, hey, if someone is not good in math, that then they doesn't deserve X, Y, and Z, or then they are just not that good person as you are, because you have created an ego that only math people, like only those people who are good in math are good people. So this is clear. This is something which is really good. And I have definitely 100% loved this idea, and I love to use it for myself when I'm, trying to solve a problem in my mind, a hypothetical problem. But this is the problem. The thing is that in reality, you have experiences. And what I talk about is that, when I was trying to use affirmations and trying to use envisioning and these kind of stuff, I was trying to think about creating memories which didn't exist, especially what kind of memories I was trying to create were ones that I belong or I am from so-called rich or wealthy family. So I have those experiences which a rich and wealthy family would give to a child, and that would result for me to be that type of person who's actually a rich and wealthy person. But this leads to a problem, and let me explain what is the problem. When you envision and when you affirmate, there is a distinction. And what that distinction or gap, whatever you want to name it, is this: that you are right now here and you envision that you are here. This creates a gap. If that creates a gap that, oh my God, I'm not there, but you envision yourself that you are there, what happens is that in your ego, you create this idea that this is the good thing. This is a check mark. Let me draw a green check mark. Oh my God, if I'm this kind of person, I'm happy, I'm good, I'm this, I'm that. You create that because you're trying to affirmate that into your life. But the problem becomes that if you create an ego, you create a shadow as well. And what that shadow is going to be is your current situation. If you're not that type of person, but you're trying to become the type of person, and you're trying to, recreate that feeling of, oh, I'm dead, but you're not, then your shadow is going to create emotions. Because this is what happens. In your shadow and your ego, you created this idea that, hey, in the ego, I'm this, I love this type of person, but in their shadow, I'm this. So you have a good and a bad idea of, so to speak, who to be. And what that comes down to is very simple. Just look at this. The ego creates the shadow, and the shadow creates the ego. This goes hand in hand. But the problems become is that if you have created in your shadow that this is bad, your current situation, and when something doesn't matches your current situation with your ego, you're going to have emotions. And emotions are going to be negative. So think about it. Let's say this as an example. You think that you're really good at math. Then you come to a math problem that you cannot solve. What is going to happen? You are going to be angry because you have created that in your ego that you're good in math, but in your shadow, what happens is that, oh my God, you think I'm not good in math, and that creates anger, and that creates an emotional response in your mind to that problem. So if you create a distinction, a gap between who you are and who you want to be, what happens is that right now, in your mind, your state where you are at is bad, and you are going to have negative emotions with your current situation. And how can you work on becoming this type of person if you are having negative emotions continuously while you're in your current situation? This is not working. This is my experience. This really didn't work for me. And that's why I'm recording this video, so you understand that I think this is just trash. I think if you want to get to your desired outcome, this is not how you should act. And I'm going to explain how I think you should act. So when you're trying to reach your goal, there is a current situation where you are at, and there is a desired outcome of where you must be. And there is here a stair or whatever that is. There is a gap. I don't care what this is. How you have to imagine is that you have to continuously go on the journey, like walking on the journey. And whenever a decision comes, let's say it's 7 p.m. on a Saturday, and a decision comes, should I work or should I not work? What should I do? Then you align the decision with what kind of person your desired outcome, who that would be, and what kind of decision would that person make. So if you create this really simple distinction that I'm not that type of person, but as I'm going through that journey, I'm always aligning my decisions, aka my actions, around who I should be, I'm going to get there inevitably. So this is the exact way right now I imagine what I should do and what I shouldn't do, and or how I should do the things. So for an example, today I was angry a bit. I had this negative feeling, and I was like, okay, how can I solve this negative feeling? And I realized that a negative feeling comes from a different places. Like, some came from instant dopamine that I got the last week, or other parts came from, just not being at the place where I want to be, not being at my goal. I was like, okay, if I want to get here, what would that person do? I checked my phone, and I had, every kind of every kind of application on my phone. IG, YouTube, Facebook, whatever it is, Telegram, YouTube Studio. Even though I haven't even got any kind of information from it, like notifications, because I have it all turned off, I created this problem that whenever, let's say, I end the work, I can just go on my phone and open IG, even though I don't scroll, because I don't scroll. I get instant dopamine because I opened the application. So I'm like, no, if I want to get here and this person who is here wouldn't do that or wouldn't want instant dopamine in order to do the work, I would simply delete the applications. And I deleted all of them and bang, and that's done. So right now I made a decision and I align my action who this person should be. Okay, guys, I hope you liked this video and I hope you understood every single part of this explanation. Yes, so have a good day and I will see you in the next one.